Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to Bunnykat's Oracle. I am here to do your September 2020 general tarot reading. I would like to thank you very much for joining me today. And before I get started, I would like to say a prayer for everyone who clicks on this video. I pray that you are happy, that you are healthy, and that you are safe from harm, and that all your best wishes come true. I'll light a candle for us before we get started. There we go. And the deck that I'm using for the main reading today is the Wonderland Tarot deck by Chris and Morgana Abbey, which is, of course, based on Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland storybooks, as well the illustrations by, I always forget this guy's name, I'm so sorry, Sir John Tenniel, that's it. Wonderful, wonderful deck. It is so much fun, and they've gotten rid of most of the kind of religious, symbolism that you'd normally see in the tarot, which I think, some people don't like. So that'll be our main deck for today, and I will be doing clarifying, if needed, with my more classic Smith-Waite tarot deck, which is this one, if you're curious. All right, now let's get started. We'll be doing a Celtic cross reading. What messages do we have in store for September 2020 for our Capricorn friends? What does Capricorn need to hear? I just saw the Wheel of Fortune. Somebody's feeling lucky, very lucky. I do know you're a very lucky sign, at least from my experience with Capricorn people so far. What messages do we have for Capricorns September 2020 general messages? Now remember, these aren't all going to resonate with people in the same exact way. That's actually impossible. And they may not even resonate at all, in which case, that's fine. They're just cards. You don't have to take them too seriously. But I love the tarot. And you probably like it too if you felt the need to click on this video. So please just try to enjoy this reading and take everything with a grain of salt. All right, Capricorn. That feels good. I'm going to cut the deck. And here we go. Wow. Bottom of the deck, 3 of oysters. You know what? I can already see right off the bat. I think you're going to be really, really focused on your business this month. This is the card of business, bringing out into the open. Okay. In your present, you've got the King of Hats, which would be the King of Cups in the classic tarot. This is a man who's very much in tune with his emotions. Not to say that he's emotional, like not in a bad way, but it's someone who's very mature, is aware of their emotions, doesn't let them get the best of him, but also doesn't deny them. He's not a very superficial person, like a very deep guy. Typically, this would be a Pisces. It could also be a Cancer or a Scorpio, but it doesn't have to be. But just somebody who is embodying these kind of watery qualities and is very deep. Tends to be a professional as well, somebody who's got his life together. So this is showing up in your present position. So that may be about your current feelings, male or female, either way. It's just about the energy here, so it can apply to either or. This could be the way that you're feeling. You could have been doing a lot of introspection lately and really getting in touch with how you feel about a situation. Or you could have a man on your mind a lot. A man of, a water sign. Crossing you, we have the Hierophant. So I can't help but think that you are wanting to marry this person. This is a challenge or opportunity. It's a challenge if you were thinking of marrying someone and they didn't want to marry you. Of course, it's an opportunity if they do. This is what's crossing you. Why did I think of the marriage? Just because of the other cards that are here. But the Hierophant can also just be about authority, a situation that has a lot of rules and structure. It can be about corporation, it could be about a church, it can be about your school, it can be a spiritual leader, somebody that you go to for guidance, but that somehow feels like a bit of an authority figure. But it often shows up when someone is thinking about marriage as well, because traditionally this would be the card of the priest, and that's whom you go to see when you're going to get married. In this deck, of course, though, it is the caterpillar. The caterpillar asks you to consider, who are you? Who are you, Capricorn? You're doing some deep thinking about that, right? And sometimes when we are trying to discover ourselves, what we actually do is project that on other people. We think we need to find this perfect person who completes us. But what we're really doing is we're projecting. We're looking for the best qualities of ourselves in another person, or what we want to be, you know? And when we're attracted to a different type of person at a different phase in our life, it really is a reflection of how we've changed as individuals. So if you are finding yourself, like I said in my first interpretation, really thinking about this fella a lot and thinking about marrying them, it actually says a lot about you as well, and where you're at in your life and how you've changed and what kind of person you want to become. Because the idea with marriage is of two souls becoming one. Now, of course, literally they don't, but you do affect each other a lot. You become a little bit more like that other person, and that other person becomes a little bit more like you when you join your lives together. So this feels really deep. Let me know how it resonates for you. In your recent past, I see a little bit of a heartbreak here. Nothing that you can't get over, especially with your solid sign, the 3 of flamingos. I also see some support here in this version of this card. We've got these 3 flamingos standing together. You could look at it as betrayal. This is a card that talks about a betrayal. 2 flamingos going behind one of them. The first one's back. But I also sometimes look at this card and I see a sense of support. I see 3 flamingos supporting themselves. So even if you did go through some heartbreak, I feel like you have 2 or more people in your life that are there to support you all the way and to listen to you cry and moan and be a shoulder to lean on. I don't feel that you're all on your own, you know, in this sense. But this does feel like a romantic thing. And it could have had to do with this fella too. But the card that we see in the past is the Knight of Peppermills in your recent past. Now, this is a player card, sorry to say. He is very attractive, very easy to get caught up in a whirlwind romance with this person. Could be a Sagittarius or an Aries or a Leo, somebody with some fiery qualities. The thing about the Knight of Peppermills is he leaves just as fast as he came, you know, easy come, easy go. And that's why he's a player. And he's very good at what he does. He's very charming, very attractive. Even though this one doesn't look particularly attractive, we can suspend disbelief for a moment and imagine that this fella is very attractive. He knows the right things to say to extricate you from your clothes. And then he's off and he's leaving your reading. He's going this way. So that's a bit heartbreaking. And it seems like you may have dealt with this recently. Now, it could be reversed, of course. If you're a male, you could have dealt with a female like this, or another male or a female dealing with a female. Just somebody who has this kind of player energy about them and likes to move really quickly and is just there for a good time, not a long time kind of thing. So however that plays out for you. And yes, females can be players too. Usually a player is somebody who got their heart broken. And so they're protecting their heart by not getting too close to anybody. That's going pretty deep with it. But, you know, in the immediate present, it looks like somebody broke your heart a little bit. Luckily, this is in the past. This is something you're moving on from. In the recent future, the near future, I'm sorry. You're showing up as the Queen of Flamingos. So... And this is often the widow card. It doesn't have to be literally that way, but it's someone who's lost someone but has learned a great deal in the process. This queen has very strong boundaries in place. She is extremely perceptive, very good at picking up on red flags. She smells your BS a mile away, and she will cut you if you cross her, kind of thing. So this is about having stronger boundaries. It's about thinking clearly, you know, in the future. You know, if this did resonate with you and you did, you know, feel like you got burned a little bit by a player you got too close to, you're not going to let anyone get that close to you that quickly. You know, you're going to be a lot more protective of your heart. You're going to be thinking with your head and not your heart. And you may feel like you've kind of closed up a little bit in terms of your heart energy. And that's okay. That's just where you need to be for now. Okay. Crowning you, we have the Queen of Oysters. Then this is the card of a rich woman. She has everything she needs. She doesn't need to rely on anybody. Her house is in order. She's taking very good care of her children. Again, you could be a male and you could be embodying this energy, this nurturing, solid. It's kind of like she has the energy of the Empress in terms of being very nurturing, very caring, and really having her home in order. But she also kind of has the energy of the Emperor in terms of being like the ruler of her domain and being a provider as well. This is not just your mommy, this is your rich mommy. And this is your strength right now. So Capricorn, this is a wonderful place to be. You know, having two queens here as well. It can be rivalry, but I don't necessarily see it that way. I feel like this is more to do with you embodying the qualities of the two queens, being very logical, but also just very focused on your money, and also just in a very good position financially. So if that applies to you, then great, good for you. You don't need to rely on anybody. You can get your heart broken on an emotional level, and yes, it hurts and everything. Excuse me, but you're totally fine on your own. You don't need anyone to help you. In your attitude position, this is cheeky. Excuse me. We have the Page of Flamingos, which would be in the classic Rider-Waite Tarot, the Page of Swords, which is known as the spy card. So you're feeling very curious these days, Capricorn. You may be doing some snooping, some social media, spying on some old lovers and friends. You're very, very curious to know what other people are up to. If you're not spying on other people, it could also just be about learning in your own life. You may be reading a lot. You may be studying a new subject. You may be learning a lot about yourself. You know, especially with the other flamingo cards here, there's a lot of air energy. So I feel like you are just very mentally active at this time, you know, being very logical, coming out of a period of being very much in your emotions and trying to just take a more level-headed approach to life, which is really cool. Very, very cool. In your external environment, you have the 8 of Peppermills. This is the communication card. And look at Alice is meeting her friend, the dog. This is great. So I feel like you're going to be having a lot of very interesting conversations with the people around you in your life. You have a lot of people to talk to. Even if you've been isolated in some way or working from home, I do see you sending and receiving a lot of messages and hearing from a lot of people. So you're definitely not going to be alone, whatever you're dealing with this month. And that's cool. And you know what? I'd like to get a clarifier on this one just to know whom is going to be communicating with you. Maybe there's someone specific that's coming up, or maybe we can learn a little bit about what it's about just to get some more information. It's like the most vague thing you can hear in a tarot reading. Hey, someone will communicate with you. I mean, yeah, okay, duh. It's so vague. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, this is to do with your business. This is the card of commerce here. So I feel like your business is really going to be picking up this month. And that's cool because you also have the Chariot in your outcome position, and you have another 3 as well. This is actually the same card. The 3 of Wands is the same as the 3 of Peppermills. I love this version of this card though, okay? So it's a card of commerce. It's about sending your ships to sail. There's a real feeling of victory here. You see this sort of victory lap flag. It's the flag that we see at the end of a car race that they wave. So somebody really making their mark on the world, really walking the path that they were meant to walk, you know, and making a lot of connections overseas. Often it's associated with travel, but I don't think that's necessarily what's going to be happening for you this month for obvious reasons. And when we get this card in the Wonderland Tarot, it's really about finding a new way. Like Alice has just discovered that if she pulls the curtain here, she can actually get out this way, you know. She hadn't considered that. There's a little door here in the fence. You can see the little keyhole. So it's finding a new way of doing things. So in your external environment, this showed up as a clarifier. A lot of communicating with, I think, people to do with your business. And then the same card shows up in your hopes and fears. And so I feel there may be a little bit of an anxiety about you in terms of how you're doing your business this month, because obviously everything has changed so drastically with the pandemic and everything. And you're being asked to really think on your feet and come up with solutions and still make everything work, and make sure the bills get paid on time. And, it's obviously a challenge for a lot of people. So there could be some worries about that. How am I going to make it work? But I feel that you're hopeful that you will. Like, it's a very positive spread all across the board in this area here. I see a lot of yellow, a lot of green, and I feel like you're perfectly capable of doing that. You don't need to worry about it. You just need to think a little bit more creatively, especially with the two. Actually, you got 3 threes here. And the 3 is about creativity. So you have to be, it's actually 4 threes, and come to think of it, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bottom of your deck. So this is really the common theme here, is the 3. Does the 3 mean something for you? Maybe you're juggling 3 things right now as well. I don't know. But I feel like you are being very creative in your approach, and you realize that you need to be. And that could be a welcome challenge for you, because it kind of switches things up a bit. Your sign isn't known for being creative. You're known for being very good business people and very hard workers, good leaders. Not necessarily the most creative people. So this is, I want to say fun. I don't know if it is fun for you, but it's a new challenge. It's a new way of doing things. And I think that you're going to look back on this time in the future as being like a historical moment. Maybe not necessarily this month in general, maybe just like this year, in general, about how things changed drastically and how you were victorious nonetheless, because we have the Chariot card in your outcome position, which is about victory. This is the victory lap. It's also about charging forward in your business. So you're really picking up speed this month. You may have been in a lull for sure, but things are definitely picking up for you. And I see you being very successful. And I also see a lot of people looking at you. A lot of people are watching you right now to see what you're going to do. So you're really showing up as a leader here. This is really cool, very fortuitous. So I think this is a very positive reading. Even if you went through some, like I said, a little bit of a heartbreak in the recent past, I feel you're going to use that to propel yourself forward. It's going to motivate you to work even harder on your business, because you realize that that's what you need to focus on. That is what is going to bring you success and happiness more than anything else. And it's great. And it's going to make you even more attractive in the long run as well. And so who knows if there'll be any more suitors coming your way. I didn't see that in this reading here, but we'll see later in the month. Maybe we'll do a love reading for you. But I just don't get the impression that's what's on your mind right now. Or you're coming out of a period where maybe love was kind of the main thing on your mind, and you're coming into a new period where you're just all about those monies, which is great. That's cool. I'd like to get an animal spirit card to close out this reading for you. I will be using the Kim Krantz Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. This is the box. We're curious. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. I'm loving this. It comes with this wonderful guidebook. And I will actually read to you from the book because I love what the author has to say, and I just find it really relaxing. Okay, so, Spirit, please guide me to pick a helpful message for my Capricorn friends for September 2020. What animal spirit message do they need to hear for September 2020? This one seems to be wanting to come out. Oh, elk. Cool. This is very much a leader energy. Someone who's very solid, that other people look to for help. The Virgo people just got this as well. Just did their reading. And so I will read it to you as well. Okay, just give me a second here. My only complaint about this book is the lack of a table of contents. So there we go. Okay. Otherwise, it's absolutely fabulous. I don't mean to complain. Okay. So elk energy is stable, resilient, headstrong, and the father. And again, male or female, it's just about energy. We're not talking about sex here. Okay. You can be a woman and be embodying this energy, right? So Just take it how it resonates for you. The great elk represents the earth element in its masculine form. This means it provides underlying support and stability amidst life's many changes. An elk personality, whether male or female, is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. They become known and respected for acting in ways that uphold those values. Sometimes the elk's ego can become inflated, but for the most part they make damn good fathers, mothers, lovers, and friends. The world needs more elk energy. When in balance, elk is supportive, kind, and consistent. When out of balance, it is pretentious, high and mighty. To bring into balance, eat and drink more consciously. Cool. Maybe making some tweaks to your diet this month. We could all use a little bit of that, but this has been wonderful. It has been great doing your reading here, Capricorn. I really enjoyed exploring your energy a little bit. Let me know in the comments if any of this resonated with you. Again, if it didn't, that's okay. Just leave it. They're just cards. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I want to thank you again for joining me today here on Bunnykat's Oracle. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bless you all.